guys answer questions there, or is it still more?
Well, definitely Avery. He's an explosive young man who picks things up really quick. Has really good instincts as a route runner when he's out there, and you can tell that by playing quarterback. He always liked that. He can make guys miss. He's really kind of surpassed my expectations. Really, this last week he's probably been more of an explosive player on our offense than we've had. Jafar was doing well when we first started, then he's been hobbled with a little with an injury, so hadn't really got to see much of him the last few practices. But he's another explosive big guy, and who is good with the ball in his hands. So the more he gets healthy, we'll be able to get a good evaluation. They got a good overall knowledge of what we're trying to do. It's just giving them repetitions. They can play fast and play more confident.
With Avery, with the quarterback share, I'd imagine buy-in has to be a big part of that. How has he been in that department?
It's pretty good. He's scoring a lot of touchdowns, so I think he enjoys that. That always helps. And a lot of it is designed when he's in there that he's going to be touching the ball. Or the ball, he's going to be the #1 read or give in that scenario during spring ball, obviously. And just to keep it simple with him, because he is having to go back and forth. But I'm telling you, this past week he's been really, really
Chip,
exciting.
I'm sorry. How are you using him?
How do you mean?
Davis.
Yeah, he'll be in the backfield, running back, at receiver, and then when our threes are up, he'll get some quarterback reps and whatnot. But the last few practices really done a great job at receiver and running back for us. And he's carrying a lot, and but you kind of see the confidence in him, the speed coming off the ball, and the power he's running with. It's been exciting.
Do you open up another aspect of your offense?
Yeah, absolutely. When we get, no doubt. That kind of hurt us last year. That was a big part of our offense in spring ball, fall camp. When the backs, got knocked out and hobbled, we couldn't use that part of our offense, and it hurt us. And just having the ability with more depth back there with those type of guys, instead of just being Tony, now you have Avery, possibly Jafar when he gets healthy. So injuries can't take us out of that personnel.
What's your evaluation been of your tight end group so far this spring?
Really good. Colt, I'll start with the older guy, Alze. He's done a really, really good job. Probably the most consistent he's been since I've been here, just in everything he's doing. He hasn't had a bad day yet, which is good. And as long as he concentrates on just daily devotion to his craft, all the things he wants will come his way. Cole Komet has been outstanding. Obviously, you guys know he's double duty. So, just last Saturday he has a big scrimmage and late to his baseball game and goes and beats Clemson. And and he's done a great job of just not, you can kind of see some days where it wears on him, especially last night. They came back from, Michigan State, I guess, and or the other day. So it kind of wearing on him a little bit, but he's been extremely consistent. By staying with us all last fall, you can see where the carryover has been big for him to really blossom this spring. Brock is finally back, dealing with the shoulder. So he has to get his conditioning back, because those guys have to move around quite a bit. But he's coming on. He's going to be a good player. And just the rest, we got to get healthy, and keep those other few guys alive till we get done spring ball.
Chip, what are your impressions of the different offensive line combos, and do you feel like you're honing in on one that you like in particular?
Yeah, I do. I think we got a good feel for where certain guys are going to be and where they can be to be successful. It's been frustrating at times, but I think by moving guys, finding the right spot, it might be frustrating in spring, but overall, throughout the year, it's going to help us a lot. And getting different guy exposure, and then being able to finally settle in where we can have experience to help some of the younger guys. We're going to be young on offense, which is fine. So we want to try to do the best we can where we can put an experienced guy next to someone, say, who first time starting up front. But they're all big, athletic, and physical. So just the more reps they get, the better they're going to be. But I have Liam Eichenberg coming on this spring has been huge, and he's just getting more and more confident every day. Now he's going to be a young guy, so he'll make some mistakes, but he's finally just turning it loose and playing hard, not thinking all the time. Alex Bars has probably been as consistent and as a good player on our offense we've had all spring ball. Really proud of him. Tommy Kramer has done a great job going back and forth at guard and tackle, just to keep that with him. Hainsey's really settled in these last 2 weeks. And then you got Josh Lugg, Sam, and Trevor Ruhlin was playing as good as anybody. So we got about 8 guys right now that we can play winning football, and Aaron Bates had his best week. So, most places I've been, you might have 6 or 5.5 guys. It's nice to have this depth, and we just got to get them more mature up front, and that just comes with time. But there's good talent there.
Is Liam the guy that you think is going to end up at left tackle?
I do. His length and size really gives us an advantage out there. And then today we had Alex Bars playing left guard for us, just to give him a veteran guy right there to take some off his plate for calls and stuff. Tommy Kramer and Hainsey, they've been on the right side. It keeps Tommy in a right-handed stance that he played with all last year. And those two have been with each other and, attached to the hip for a long time. Try to see how that works these next few days in spring and just kind of move forward.
With Tommy inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what goes into your decision you had Hainsey on the right side and Eichenberg on the left. Does Eichenberg have a little bit more length?
Yeah. With your quarterback's blind side, you want to have a little bit more length, a little bit more girth, so someone just can't bull rush the quarterback from behind. If he's getting bull rushed from the right, Brandon can still see it with his vision and take off running. So you always want to have a little bit more length and size at that position, if you can.
And where do you see Hainsey's game heading after splitting time last year?
I think he's really come on these last 2 weeks. It was a little bit of adjustment for him, the left side, which was good to get him exposure for an emergency situation. But he's playing really solid football for us right now.
You've had Casey Claypool for a calendar year now. Where has he kind of grown as you have as a...
We're still counting on him to grow. Obviously he's a great talent, but like a few other guys, they gotta come on and find out what's important for him. And the moment he decides that, he's going to be a big-time player. The shoulder kind of held him back a little bit, so he's kind of getting the flow of things. But when he decides he wants to be great, he's going to be great.
What is his strength right now? Is it what we see? 7-on-7, catching the ball with his height?
It is, and he's a powerful guy. He's good on the perimeter and blocking. He's a strong runner if he has some space. But high pointing the ball, he's done well at times, and just being more consistent, right, with your craft, and don't be disruptive. A lot of being a tempo offense, you can't have guys out there who are having to, help get lined up in certain situations, especially at tight end. And so the moment we can get that settled down, it'll be great.
What are some maybe new wrinkles that you've been able to add in this spring? I think it was maybe at the bowl game you were saying you were excited just in year 2 to be able to add more stuff.
Yeah, well, that's a secret, right? I don't want to give all that away. No, every spring we're always going to tinker with new things, especially in the fall. Pass combinations, things that can help Brandon, our quarterbacks, a little more, our receivers, and then kind of build what we need for our first part of the season, who we're going to play against, and kind of build that. And then just figuring out pieces. Where certain guys who's gotten better this offseason, who we can count on. Has been just as big a thing for me is who can we count on, when it's game 8, when guys are getting banged up, all right? Who's going to be able to go through that grind, that hurt us last year. And so that's the biggest emphasis for me. And, being year 2, it's helped. The knowledge of our offense is really good. The guys know it. They can explain everything. It's just the consistency, and that comes with a young offense that we got to improve on every single day. Keep putting them in tough situations where they can fight through, where they can get frustrated and learn from it. We can't do enough of that, and Coach Kelly's done a great job of putting those guys this spring into, some no-win situations where they got to figure it out. And I think it's been good, and then how they're going to react and learn from that. So, we're going to play in some big-time ball games this next year, and with a young team, we want those guys to understand how to handle that situation before we play.
You had talked, I guess maybe last year, just about your relationship with Harry and you guys, I guess, went on walk our campus and stuff.
Right.
Is there somebody else now that you lean on or to?
Well, it depends on what kind of practice we have. If it's a good practice, someone will walk with me. It's a bad practice, I'm probably by myself. But no, I drag Coach Alexander out of his office to come walk with me, and then try to get Coach Quinn right now. But he's trying to catch up with everything right now, and so it depends on the day, really.
And with Quinn in the new role now, how have you just seen him?
He's doing a great job. And Jeff was with me and the tight ends all last year, so we had a great relationship. He's done a great job of taking that room and molding those guys. We have a lot of young guys who are playing really well right now, so that's a testament to him and getting those guys to believe right now and play hard, and he's doing a great job on the recruiting trail for us. So very, very impressed with Coach Quinn.
You mentioned Alizé's consistency this spring. What do you think has kind of spurred that for him?
You know, it's his last year. It's your senior year, right? You don't get another senior year. So it's time to decide what kind of player you want to be, what kind of legacy you want to leave, and you know if this game's important to you. And it really is important to him. And he's done a great job. I'm extremely proud with his growth. And it's not a surprise that he's playing really well for us right now. And he sees that, and now he understands what he has to do daily so he can stay at that level of performance.
Chip, how close are you to coming out of spring with a lead running back? Do you feel like you have a lead running back?
Yeah, I feel good with those top two. You know, it's just getting those other young guys where we can have a big rotation, where we can have a staple of guys that, you know, we're not missing a beat. But, you know, Tony and Dex have done a very nice job growing this spring, being consistent. And so I feel very confident right there with those two. Now it's just getting the young guys more reps back there, which is fine. And but they have the talent and the speed. Those young guys. It's going to be a good, solid group.
Dexter Williams has remained healthy.
He has.
And as
So
far
has
as,
Tony.
I mean, I know there were times where he wasn't a complete back in terms of.
No, he's really embraced that, you know, and he's working at it every day. And it's just like anything else. I mean, you consistently, daily have to hit to believe in it, and it's making him a better running back. He's catching the ball well out of the backfield, and he's being a good leader for us. He really is, bringing great energy to practice, and you know, it really hasn't had a bad day.
Tony Jones said to us the other day, he said a couple times that he wanted to show himself as more of a leader. He doesn't seem real outspoken. Can he play that role? Do you see him trying to play that role?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's fine that he wants to be that way. I love that for everybody, but you know, let your game speak for yourself. Right. And I think if he takes care of that, that naturally will happen for him. He has a great personality. A lot of guys look up to him. He could be a natural leader, but I tell him just let that come in time. Focus on your game, what you can control, and naturally, the more plays you're making, the more guys are going to listen to you. But I like him wanting to take that leadership role. That's good. That's a good thing.
Unusual because he doesn't speak out too
right.
much.
I got fooled by your pause, I'm sorry. With your quarterbacks, what do you need to see from those guys in these last few practices?
Just keep coming on. Keep coming out there with confidence. Keep being consistent. See how they handle all the tough situations we put them in. What their decision making is in those times, and just keep building on those guys. And with their confidence, their confidence is growing because the receiving corps is playing. Well, everybody in the skill position is making contested catches. I don't think last year you can count on one hand how many one-on-one contested balls we made. I mean, this year it's been good seeing guys, lay out, making plays for the quarterbacks, and that builds his confidence and everybody on the offense. So that's been good, but just the consistent and tough situations, how are they performing, and what are their decisions in those situations, and then just not making the same mistake twice has been a big deal these last week and a half for me.
In specific with tough situations, what are you trying to get at? Them dealing with pressure?
Pressure in the pocket, we're on the sideline, a bunch of 2-minute situations, a lot of situational football, just where they can be calm in that and show that they're calm, not panicking, and which I think they've done a nice job, both of them, really just from last year. I mean, it was a lot of panic situations, and this time they're calm and confident in there, and are making solid situations, decisions. Excuse me.
In the bowl game, were you upstairs?
No, I was on the
okay,
field.
and Tommy was also downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that something you think that you'll want to continue?
It doesn't matter to me. It's really what Coach Kelly wants. At the time, he wanted time down there just with our quarterbacks, with the communication and stuff, and we had certain packages in that bowl game where both were going to play. And so just to help take the confusion out. But, in a perfect world, Tom would be upstairs, but it's what Coach Kelly wants.
Have you seen any separation yet between Brandon and Ian?
No, I mean, they're both playing really well right now for us. Ian struggled a little bit early in the spring. He's come on a little bit late. Brandon's been really solid. He has. My biggest thing for him is, under the light. And that's why we've been to try to create that as much as possible. And he's definitely better locating the ball. He's more confident back there. Me and him can talk football so much better now, and he can see it. So that excites me. But, you know, they both had their good days. There just hasn't been an awful day. And that's really good to see, in my opinion.
Chip, with like creating those pressure situations for Brandon, is that one of those scenarios where like you're not really going to know until September 1st?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's same thing with Liam Eichenberg, you know,
Yeah.
Tommy Kramer at guard. So it's not just for our quarterbacks, you know, our young tight ends, Cole Kmet, you know, it's just going to be some young, you know, Michael Young, Miles Boykin, first time really taking on a role. And, you know, a lot of it's designed for the quarterback, but it's also those other guys.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I mean, that's what makes the game so fun and exciting. You never know what's going to happen. Somebody might surprise you. But I think the more, if they can consistently perform in those situations, you have a pretty good idea how it's going to be on game day.
In these practices, how are you trying to create adversity?
Well, a lot of times, you know, most time I usually script it. Well, I don't anymore. Just so they don't have all day where they know their plays, they can go through their situation, their reads. Now it's game-like, speed of the moment. And the same thing with young offensive linemen. I mean, I want to know what plays I'm going to have so I can just go over it all night. You know, a lot of our run play action I'll script just so we're getting our installs and all that taken care of. But when it's team, we're all off the field and they got to go play and play with tempo and be able to communicate. And that's one thing just every single day we've been doing. Now, other days, Coach Kelly will have, you know, a lot of 2-minute situations into the game. We got to score. We got to get a first down for those guys, and really piping in some loud music where, you know, they got to be able to focus and perform.
Everything was sort of scripted last year, though. We're like,
Yeah, you know, year one we have to get our install in. They have to learn the offense. These guys have a good base of the offense, and now it's time to get out there and play, and as much as they can without the coaches on the field helping them out.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Very good.